Welcome back to the Scorpio channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Scorpio. Know that energy is fluid. Roles could be reversed. Always interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also know on this channel, I like to dive deep within the reading. So I do look at everything, but we take a lot more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play out as karmic themes. This will allow you to understand why your person's acting the way that they are, how you're contributing to the imbalances in your connection, and what you can do to shape shift the energy. All right, anything of any importance or relevance to the channel you can find in the description box, including my life coaching course. It's up. It includes shadow healing, inner child healing, reparenting, all the healing modalities to help you heal the effects of trauma, as well as help you discover your soul's path and help you along to start at least on your soul's path, giving you clear-cut direction. So a lot of people know what they want to do. They just don't know how to go about doing it. So if this sounds something that would interest you, the link is in the description box. All you need to do is click on it and fill it out. All right. Now, I also wanted to share my website is on there. I am open for readings as well as I have a ton of free information on there. So if you just want to learn, check out my blogs. I've written over 200 different blogs. They're all on my website. All right. So I just wanted to put that out there. Want to enter into winning a free reading with me, you have to be open to getting a shadow reading and you have to be open to getting it live. I believe in spiritual law, what's best for everyone. So I get to display the channel, you get the free reading, and collectively, people get to utilize the information if they need it. That's how spirit works. Spirit works all the time what's best for everyone. Even when we're like, I don't really think that that person deserves, you know, spirit looks at everything from the most highest perception where we tend not to. We tend to look at things through, what's best for us. Because if we don't do that, no one else will, right? So we have to be able to have a balance where we actually do what's best for ourselves, but also are coming from the most highest form of consciousness, which is just through the lens of unconditional love, realizing that people are wounded and that hurt people. But we don't have to make that our reality. We always have the opportunity to quantum jump into the reality that we most want to experience. All right, let's jump in this morning. Can't believe I'm actually on, and it's not 1 o'clock in the afternoon, but I have a coaching client at 10:30. So it's forcing me to become balanced because otherwise I wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't do it. Healing doesn't feel good, especially when you adapt to having bad habits. I like to stay up until like 3 o'clock in the morning for no apparent reason, and then wake up a little bit later where everybody knows the early worm gets what is it? The early bird gets the worm. I was gonna say the early worm gets the bird. Well, in my land, that's kind of the way that it can work. All right. The word of the video is powerless. Powerless. You're connected to somebody that I feel like is in victim state consciousness. They feel like they're helpless. It's not that they're helpless, it's that they would have to leave a situation all together and, cut their losses. And they're trying to avoid that. So they're not hopeless. Their state of consciousness is hopeless because they don't really believe that they're going to enter into a better life than the actual one that they actually have to say goodbye to. But this person, I feel like they weren't in love with that person. And so because they weren't in love with that person, they kind of lived a double life and it caught up to them. Is, you know, it, the Reader's Digest version. We're going to see exactly what this person did to you. How are you relevant to this situation? What they're going to do, and what was, like I said, the whole point of attracting this person. Why did the universe feel it necessary for this person to come into your life? And what are you supposed to do with the negative energy if the connection can't be balanced out, can't be healed? Because like I said, there's many different realities that play out at one time. Your level of consciousness depends on, their past experiences. So I just believe that this person, um, like I'm feeling like they built up a big business. I feel like they lived in a nice house. I feel like they had a reputation that that they liked. It fed their ego. And part of it wasn't real. Again, this person lived a sham of a life, but another part of them doesn't really see where they're going within their life. So I feel like when you were dealing with a person, they must have lied. They must have lied to you, because it looks like that it's not even their choice that their situation is ending. That's why they're acting hopeless. They have anxiety and worry because they know that it's ending. They're in regret because of, again, what they did. They're stuck in nostalgia, but not nostalgia for that person. It's the nostalgia of their life. It's, I started my business, and if they had kids, my kids were young. This was the house that I built. This is the house that I bought with my first house. This was my first, it was a lot of firsts while this person was with this karmic. I just believe that the relationship was over a long time ago. This person neglected themselves. They neglected the karmic, and in that they neglected themselves. Now they're in stuck of fear, which is really imbalanced. And so in order for them to deal with what's going on, they're disassociated. And I feel like how you relate to that is that this person is seeing that they didn't pursue a connection with you because of this karmic. So again, they know that they see it as, they abandoned and that you're angry. So they avoided you because they didn't want to deal with the criticism. Now they're all sad and sorrowful because they're lonely. They don't really have anybody. That's the energy now, why they feel helpless, which they did everything to themselves. We've been getting variations of this situation for a long time. So I'm glad to see that it's starting to at least come to an end. It's like secrets. It's like, again, this person kept a lot of secrets from you, kept a lot of secrets from the karmic, lived a double life. Uh, completely omitted the fact that they were in a marriage. I feel like when you first met them, they were telling you that they were single, that they were on their way out of a connection. They were in the process of a divorce. They made it sound like they were further along in hopes that you would give them a lot of energy. They knew that they weren't going to give equal give and take reciprocity because they were dealing with something else, but they wanted you to think that so that you would give more. And so not telling the whole truth about their situation. And so the relationship was always rocky. They made it rocky. They made it difficult. They made it so that you could never really connect with this person on an emotional level because you felt like they were there, but they weren't. And it's true because even though they didn't have emotional feelings, like I love and I'm passionate about this karmic, I have a loyalty to that karmic. That person is always going to be there no matter what. Yeah, I'll cheat. I'll have people on the side, but that karmic holds the throne seat. And I think that the karmic was like, it's not good enough that you just are giving me the seat and the financial stuff because you're running around, like hooking up. So you're disrespecting me. And so again, this karmic wound up getting crushed because it was like, you keep thinking that that's all that I want, that I just want the money, that I want the lifestyle, which I do. However, it's like I want your love. I want that. And so because of this, it's like I feel like in the process, this karmic is like crushing like the person that's connected to you emotionally, where because they hadn't fully gone through their divorce or separation or left, there wasn't any consequences to this person. They never really thought that this karmic would leave. They never really thought that their situation was going to end. They thought that everyone was so in love with them, including you, that because you decided to, you didn't chase after them. They realize it now, but um, I feel like when this person decided to stay with that karmic, well, they thought that you were going to be crushed. Now they're crushed because the karmic is crushing them because the karmic is emotionally crushed. They're like they just can't believe that, all the years that they put into this connection, they poured their heart, their soul, they gave their blood, sweat, tears to this connection. They helped this person build their business in their mind because they were there. They were their cheerleader. They worshiped this person, and this person does not love them. It crushes them. It they're getting more and more and more emotional and more angry. And you're like acting like it's fine. Because I feel like if you were crushed, it was a long time ago. It's not now. And this person is actually seeing that you're not crushed and is bothering them because no one's going to come and save them out of that situation. See, if you would have come and help this person, well, then the karmic would go after you and think that you were the problem. See, because you're not going there and being the distraction, that karmic has to look at the person that's connected to you and say, they really don't love me. They really don't love me. They're using my money, they're using my time, they're just that but they don't love me. And it makes them so angry and so hurt. And so again, I feel like on an emotional level, this karmic is so distraught that they're like gonna make sure that they crush your person, not just emotionally either, on every level. Again, where you're like the relationships were so hard and the relationship is still going to be hard, is how you see it. You're like, things were always just like are so difficult now that they really need to take the space to sort out what their feelings are and what they need to do. Now, they know that that's what they need, but I feel like when you were dealing with them, they never took the space. They wanted to like leave one situation and be settled in another. This person's very codependent. Then again, they don't want to go into the unknown. They're afraid, but that says everything about them. Again, that they're insecure. What were you doing the whole time? You weren't really building your life. You built up a business, but this karmic has been there the whole time. So of course the karmic's going to say like, you're going to leave me. You're going to give me like what's due to me. And I'm going to make your life a living hell, burned, where it's again, this person has been hurt before. So it was easier for them to be in a connection where they were you know, uh, kind of having their cake and eat it too. They're having someone again pour into them and create a home, and helping this person to thrive within business, helping to sustain them. And, and then thinking that they're going to go out with you. So again, you felt like you were getting burnt. You knew you were like, somebody else is there. Somebody else is there because you're not with me. And it's again, so they never 100% gave to you. And then I feel like they split and they didn't say anything. And they chose to stay with this karmic. However, they're not like investing in that karmic. I feel like they went back to the way that they lived before they met you, which is like running around, talking to a lot of people, flirting, staying in a lower energy, which was okay with the karmic until they got wind that, hey, wait a minute, you have feelings for somebody else. You really want to leave. And you're not respecting me at all. Now, all of a sudden, the karmic's really pissed off. Meanwhile, I feel like the person that's connected to you was living a single life for a really long time and the karmic didn't care. It's the fact that they have strong feelings for you that the karmic is pissed off. Because it's like, wait a minute, you're going to get rid of me and you're going to give this person the life that you refuse to give me? They feel burned when really your person has always felt burned in relationships because they've always tried to compartmentalize. And I feel like you're like, I'm not going to entertain this because I see that I would get burned, because you're not all of a sudden going to be with me. You're making the situation difficult for a reason. Relationships are not normally hard. They're only hard when a person continues to get in their own way, when they really don't want to offer anything, but they don't want you to move forward either. It's when they're trying to do things shady, when they're trying to hold on to two people. So you're like, you already saw it by the way that this person was not really investing in you. And that's so it's like it's this person gave themselves away, is what I'm saying. I'm gonna pull like just two more, which is distracted. That's what I'm saying. Like they might have spent time with you, but there was always a sense that they weren't 100% free. And so again, I think maybe in the beginning you just thought, oh, this person has a lot on their mind because of work. They have a lot of responsibilities. And they used to make it like, I have so many responsibilities. They do, but a large part of that is because they had a whole other thing going on at home and they weren't telling you that. It's like in their mind, they weren't in a relationship, but there was still that loyalty. So it's almost like that person becomes extremely nice to the karmic when they're running around. That's what it was like. So the karmic didn't mind because they're like, so what? You're going out and you're getting laid. You're coming back and you're still cooking for me, taking care of the house. Even if you're a guy, you're like taking care of the kids. You're doing like, I'm benefiting. So what? You're getting off. I'm still the one that's benefiting. But the whole point is that they have feelings for you, well, that opens up this person's eyes even more. And now the irony is when they were spending time with you, they were distracted. Guess what? They're spending time with the karmic. They're distracted thinking about you. So they're still very fragmented. It shows they have an intimacy issue, an avoidant problem, where they're not dealing with issues with you or the karmic. That's what it looks like. So, which is making the karmic more and more and more and more and more angry because they're ruminating. And what happens when you ruminate and you feel like you've been taken advantage of? You want to crush the living hell out of the person that you're with because you feel as if, like, what am I, a fool? What am I, a fool? Like, what am I, your slave? What am I, your, like, what am I? Like, you like nothing? And that's how this person has always acted. And the karmic never cared. They care now, like I said, because, hey, they don't want to be replaced. The irony is, it's like, your person doesn't really want to be with anybody, it looks like. They want security. They want, and I'm not even talking about financial security, but they will need financial security after dealing with this karmic because the karmic is going to crush them any which way that they can because they're mad, because they're like, I've been dealing with somebody that I didn't think could love, but here it is. It's like, here it is. They're taken with someone else. And the whole time is because this person has been ruminating on you, thinking about you while they're like at with the karmic. So it doesn't mean that they know you, but because they're an avoidant, they can stay in fantasy land. Right now, it's miserable with the karmic, so they can't be in fantasy land with that karmic. It's like, if anything, the karmic is grossing them out because it's like karmic is getting more and more controlling, more and more angry, more and more, again, where they're always, I feel like it just got pushed into such a negative energy where your person used to always try to get over on them. Now the karmic's like deceiving them. So new person's always like looking to see what's going to happen next. So it's just this is the karmic's way of keeping your person extremely busy so that they can't go anywhere, so that they waste a lot of time, so that whoever that they run back to, is, it looks like, well, you were somewhere. They can't make the person that's connected to you stop having feelings for you. but they can make their life miserable to the point that it will be very difficult to maintain a connection with you. It's like, because it's more about this karmic saving face. It's like you're going to leave me for someone else. And I'm the one that did all of it. So it's like you're trading me in for a younger person. Again, this person doesn't know who it is. They just are ruminating on who it is. They're searching, where I feel like this person has fake accounts on social media. I also believe your person stalks you on social media, but I believe that this karmic has a lot of fake accounts to try to like find who is this person talking to? Who are they talking to? And by you not moving forward, well, again, there's no distraction. So and now your person really can be inconsistent in your life, but they were inconsistent because of that karmic. And where your person said, like, just I think that they're freaking out. And they're freaking out because they see, because of their inconsistency on all parts, everybody, no, this person's not really going to have anybody. So this is the energy. They played a lot of games. They played a lot of games. But let's see how they feel about you and what they're going to do. Let me pull from another deck. Not that you would want this person. I mean, because like I said, like I do feel like they're trying to get out of their situation, but this is the way that they end a connection. This is the way that they are in a connection, right? That's pretty much what it's saying, you know. Where again, like I feel like this person has a lot of like healing that they need to do just from the family patterns. So they project a lot, you know, I feel like, and it's all about them putting people in a place of disempowerment because of their trauma, that they need to feel as if they're superior. With you, I feel like you're on a higher vibration. So this person was always a little afraid that they were going to be rejected, and now more so, which is again, while their situation is what it is, which for a long time the person played the martyr, being connected to that karmic because it was easier, but now they're in a place of stress, all because they were pretty much lazy. That's real, and they felt that they could be the authority, but understand, by being the authority, it just means that they can do what they want, which is avoid, and they're going to avoid every which way that they can, even if it means in their addictions. Okay. It's like this person has a real big fear of change. So they created the illusions, and that's what they do. And it's like they can get out. It's not like they can't, but it's easier to try to manipulate you. That's what it was. But what they didn't realize is that it left you empty. You're like, I don't want to be in a connection that like I'm there because I'm not. This is because of your inadequacy. You're gonna not give me anything, and it's gonna make me feel like as if I'm inadequate. And that's really what's happening right now. This person is still sitting in the illusions, pretending that things aren't changing, though that they know that they are. There's a fear of change. They feel inadequate, like they don't have enough. They don't know what their life is going to bring. If anything, they feel empty because, you know, listen, they lived a double life. So, you know, if that one main life, which was their blood force, right? I mean, like their work, their money, their house, and that's, you know, all being affected because of this person. You know, even if they didn't own their own business, whatever money that they were making, well, you know, they're gonna half. You know, that's how this karmic sees it, is like half, you know, half or more. You know, I can drain you of even more. I can threaten you. I can put you into a place of manipulation to try to get what I want, to stress you out so that even by you again being so stressed out, you're still not giving anything to whoever is connected to you, and because you're checking out, and they're checking out because of the trauma that it's creating, but it's all because this person was lazy. They should have gotten out of their situation. Instead, they were okay with living in balance because there's a lack. But you and this person do have a past life connection. I feel like they do with this karmic, but this karmic's main objective now is, well, I'm going to ruin your self-image. And that's so it's almost like this person can't even think about you while this is going on because this karmic is so pissed off and they know that they can't trust that person. It's like I feel like they thought that that karmic would always be there, like yeah, 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 like I might stray, but any holiday, I'm going to be with this person. This is the person that takes care of my house. I do love them. I'm just not passionate for them. I'm bored of them. And there's major intimacy issues because hey, this karmic has been saying, hey, I want you to create some intimate moments. And this person has been saying, well, that's not the way that I am. And this karmic accepted it, but now they want to leave them and they want to give love somewhere else. Well, you can imagine why this karmic wants to screw this person's head off. They're so mad. And what it comes down to in this story is that I believe everyone needs inner child healing, right? It's like due to, again, where they grew up. That's karmic for different reasons. Okay. The karmic is jealous, and controls through judgment. It's all about control and dominance. I feel like with you, your way was, well, I'm out. I'm out of here. But I don't understand why I attracted this person into my life. And this person, we can see clearly, again, that they're afraid of change, that they're not strong with themselves, that they actually self-righteous. They think that it's okay to have their cake and eat it too, as long as they're going to treat the person that they date well too. They'll take them out, they'll wine and dine them and take them out and they'll have passionate like sex with them and but there'll never be any staying or growing power because that karmic was there. Who would want that? No one wants that. The only person that looks good in that situation is this person that's connected to the karmic. And they know it. And there's a sense that this is why the karmic is also like bashing them. So you may think that this karmic like was the problem. I think that you dodged a bullet because of the karmic, because this person was fine with living very fragmented. Now they're not because they see that their situation is ending and they're seeing that they made the wrong choice. They had the opportunity to be with you. They did what was easiest. They stayed lazy because they don't like change. And they thought that you would go along with it, that eventually you would like who knows? Like not never agree to it, but that they can kind of strategize their way around it, which that's not who you are. It's like, and this person knows damn well that. So the only saving grace that they would have had is if you would have went and been in a relationship with them, and then that karmic would have fought you. And their main objective would be, I don't care, I'm just going to get my person back. It's like, I'm going to make you the problem. They can't do that because you're not around. So again, this is again what it comes down to. I just feel like you don't want to be dominated. It's again, and this person tries to keep things upside down because they wear a mask. And again, the X factor that there's again, so you called their bluff, and I knew that. And because also their substances because of avoidance, different decks saying it the same exact way, enough, you know, same exact thing. So I don't see that this person doing anything. I do see that the karmic is going to do something, but I don't see that. I also feel like this is for the karmic. Like I'm tired of you like wearing the mask. I see that you don't really want to be in a relationship with me. You don't really want to be here. You want me to take care of like all everything, but you don't want to give me what I'm deserving of. I don't want this. I've had enough. And I feel like everybody's had enough, including the person that's connected to the karmic and you, because they're like, oh, I can't like really deal with this anymore. Yeah, because the karmic is like, I'm going to crush you. I'm going to tear you apart. I am going to tear you apart. Like there's a rage going on. And that's why your person's like, I'm hopeless. What can I do? They should have left. They shouldn't have been lazy. They only cared about themselves. They're too selfish. And so we have to say, why did you attract this person into your life? What did the universe want to teach you? Because you never want to be with a person that's avoidant. I feel like for some of you, you grew up in a family that a father was avoidant, and you always heard your mother screaming at your father because they didn't take care of things. That your mother felt like they needed to be a mother to your dad. So I feel like that's like you can inherit trauma by witnessing someone that you love get berated over and over and over again and become very angry at the mother that you saw berating the father, where spirit said, well, let me show you something from a different perception. This is what it was like to live with your dad, where you put your dad on a pedestal. You thought again, oh, it was her. Where spirit's like, no, it was her, the way she handled it. She didn't need to stay there and didn't need to give up her life, because that's what happens. And him just not caring about, just being with a selfish person that never was taught to think about anyone except for themselves. And it doesn't mean that they were a bad person. What it just means is that they have a low self-esteem, they're coming from survival. So unless someone comes into their life and actually teaches them how to be treated, that this person's going to treat you the way that they treat everybody else. So vulnerability, first card out, these are the inner child wounds. And what we see is when there's trauma, that karmic theme continues to play out within our relationship. So not being allowed to be vulnerable, not having a voice because of abuse. That could be psychological abuse, emotional abuse. I know I better not say anything. Like if I say whatever I say, it can be used against me. Love is transactional. So all this type of energy is that no time and attention either. So again, that would go underneath the emotional abuse. Psychological abuse too, if like birthdays rolled around and you were not really acknowledged, if Christmas rolled around and you weren't, because you're watching your children. I mean, you're watching the other children that you go to school with, celebrate those things. Or if your parent treated you different from how they treated your other siblings, not giving you time and attention, that perception is, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, I'm not lovable, I'm not worthy, I'm abandoned. So abandonment is seen as that when our parents can't show up for us emotionally or psychologically. Or if we're getting abused, that's obviously, and like we can't rely, we can't be vulnerable. We can't be vulnerable to express ourselves, to really be ourselves. And that is where we then tend to wear a mask, or feel like we need to wear a mask, or feel like we're not good enough, feel like we don't have enough, because that was the karmic theme that we continue to live because, the parent just wasn't there. And abuse can fall underneath just getting yelled at every day, like your parent taking out their frustration and their anger that their life isn't working, whether or not they're married to someone that's an avoidant, or just miserable at their job, or feel like they've lost their identity and projecting a lot of that misery onto their children, so the child doesn't feel safe. Vulnerability is that way. A child needs to feel vulnerable in order to feel safe. And that means taking the time and spending, quality time, real attention on what that child needs and working through. That's not what happened. It was like abandoned. So you were taught not to use your voice, not to say anything, because A, created problems. So that's why it kind of mirrored this energy of, hey, because I feel like you grew up really with a parent that two parents, and one was avoiding, one just didn't do whatever they said. And it could be the parents were divorced, your parents were divorced, so it's like every Tuesday I tell them, or it could be again, no, I live with the person and they're still like avoidant. And really, if we are connected to an avoidant person, the worst thing that we can actually do is berate them. It makes that person like close up and not be vulnerable, and actually it then there's intimacy issues, trust. If I can't be vulnerable with you, you're going to use it against me and you're going to be angry about the way that I think and my feelings, well, then I'm obviously going to shut down. And I feel like in a way, this person, expected you to just kind of deal with it. It's like because of their situation, it was just a selfish person. And Spirit says, no, it's all about, like listening to yourself, walking away from this person. Well, guess what? You're on the right path. It's like you're creating your own way, which means you don't exactly know what's gonna happen and where you're really fulfilled in life. But know this, giving time and attention to someone that doesn't give or gives half the time, Spirit saying you were agreeing to that. So Spirit says you had to walk away to actually find your path. And the path is an unfoldment process that actually happens when you're on it. So if you haven't found it, it's not because of you haven't lived it enough, but you're on the right path, even if you're not seeing anything, is what Spirit's saying. And that you're going to move into limitless potential. The only thing that would have stopped you from that is being connected to this type of person, because they would drain you emotionally and what am I saying? Psych, uh, I can't talk today. Psychology wise, I was like psychologically, that's the word, psychologically. I don't know why I couldn't get that word out. Psychologically, they would be telling you that you're not good enough, that you're not worthy. It's again, you stay in a lower vibration when settling for less. It makes you angry. So the karmic lived that way for a long time. That's why it's like they're blowing up like a volcano now. Like I said, I feel like they want to rip that person's head off. Like that person, they could take their head and screw it off, they would be so happy. They're so angry because they're so hurt. And, understand that the person connected to you was willing to make this person that mad and that jealous with you. So understand that would have been the block. That would have been, how you sabotaged yourself. That's how you would have abandoned yourself. You didn't abandon yourself. It's like, so you're moving into a place of limitless potential, which is, of course, why this person is like, they're going to regret it. They say, I chose the wrong person. And it's like, because they did. Infinite possibilities. No, you're like, I'd rather move into the unknown. Like, because the unknown is boundless opportunities. It's like, because I'm releasing you and releasing everything that brings me fear. I'm fulfilling the promise to myself because, and that gives me limitless potential. So by removing you, I'm on the right path, is what Spirit's saying. It's like this person helped you dodge a bullet. The karmic, whether you know it or not, because that karmic is like made it so impossible for this person to come anywhere near you, which so that you can again move into the unknown. And I think that that's why this person feels helpless and they actually even feel bad about how they treated you. They feel bad because hey, you're moving into having a better life, And look at this. It could not a better word that Spirit is saying to end this reading off. Choice. Choice. They had a choice. You have a choice too. And that's what they weren't banking on. They weren't banking on you taking that choice, which you chose serenity and light and positive energy over their negative energy. And no matter what you went through, you chose happiness. You rose above fear and you directed your thoughts to God. And that could be, not meaning maybe not praying, but through becoming love, through giving yourself that love. Because there's a deity inside of you. That's the God part of self. The God part of self is the knowing part of self, the higher self. It's the part of ourselves that connects us to each other. And when we're filling that part of ourselves through creating deep connections, that heals intimacy. When we again find ourselves we're again giving ourselves love, and that's healing our intimacy issues with ourselves. Trust that we can trust ourselves. Now, if you were brought up in an environment where you were taught that you were nothing because you were abused and they didn't want to give you time and attention, well, Spirit says you had to live that, but you don't now, and you access your choice. And believe it or not, that in the end is why this person is like, again, they're hurting. Because if you would have went right in there, you would have been that buffer for them. And that's not going to happen now. So you better believe that this person, as much as they're going to desire you, they're also have a lot of mixed emotions towards you because they're not healed. And they're someone that was very arrogant. I'm going to leave that there. I'll talk to you guys soon. You let me know how you resonated with this one. Bye.